Welcome to Richmond Events Podcast, Leaders in the Industry, where we sit together with top-notch leaders discussing important topics in the HR, IT, marketing, finance and healthcare industry. Today's topic will be about IT. For this, we have invited Dr. Stefan Ebener from Google, who will be the keynote speaker at the upcoming Richmond IT Forum in April. And we will talk about what it takes to be a leader in the IT industry. Sit back and enjoy. So, Stefan, welcome to our very first Richmond Events Podcast. It's a pleasure for us to have you. Stefan, you are a machine learning expert and author, and you are the head of customer engineering at Google. Please tell us a little bit more about you, your background, and what you are doing.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So my name is Stefan Ebener. I'm leading an international team of experts here at Google Cloud. And besides that, also my passion is data-driven technologies and also further development of technological skills. So in companies, but also in our society. So besides that, also in addition, I'm a freelance lecturer in business mathematics, a member of the Scientific Society for Market-Oriented Management. I also belong to the Institute for Management and Digitization at the University of Economics and Management. And I'm also involved as a startup mentor, author, and keynote speaker. Maybe in a nutshell, I'm also a trained data scientist. I have practical experience in setting up data pipelines and model development, and also was asked back in 2018 for Google Cloud to build up the expert group, the machine learning expert group for Google Cloud in EMEA. And I also have recently expressed my passion for data-driven technologies in some publications, for example, smart medicine, thanks to artificial intelligence, or opportunities for healthcare through the cloud. Or another example would be consumerization in outpatient medicine, so data-driven patient care, or some that is more likely, and you heard that maybe before, is organize the world's data like Google.
Very interesting track record. What brought you in the IT industry, and what makes it for you so exciting to work in this field?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So I would say when I bring that ultimately down, everything started back in my career in 1995 with a Pentium 75 with 8 megabyte of memory. So I really had to often reinstall that with Microsoft DOS and also Windows. And at that time, I truly believed that others sent more often letters instead of installing computers. But besides that, also for a long time, the ringtone of my cell phone was the dial-up process of my 65K modem. So, I think most of the listeners remember the ugly tones that the modems did at that time. But joking aside, so in 2001, I started a training apprenticeship as IT specialist at Hewlett-Packard. And at that time, I had the opportunity to work in a wide variety of departments. So, for example, HP UX, Linux, server, storage, but also business continuity service, network competency service, and so on. So, and I would say, so this know-how, I was really able to take a lot of different aspects and dimensions for my further career. And it has also a massive impact for me. And after that, I also started studying systems engineering and then IT management. And I continued to work at HP as a technical sales consultant at the same time. And then in 2012, in parallel to my job, I developed a neural network to forecast the propensity to win for public tenders. This was part of my dissertation, and this was absolutely a novelty at that time. And I would say when I generally describe myself, I would say I'm a person that is quickly enthusiastic about new technologies. And I'm looking for challenges and would like to change things for the better. And if it's possible, then as for many people as possible. And when I joined Google in 2018, the company gave me the opportunity to combine really the interest of new technologies with the desire to make a positive impact on society. And this is all in a culture of innovation. And for example, I was able to help shape a project on Borneo, for example, to secure alternative incomes for local farmers using a machine learning model to forecast the growth of a sengon tree. So this is the fastest growing tree in the world. And with that, we were able to help over 1,000 farmers to send children to school. And I think this is really the sweet spot of using radical new technologies together with innovation and having also a positive impact on the society. And we at Google, so we are driving transformation for entire industries. So I'm working here in Germany, and we are also very active in the banking and insurance industry. And that is exactly what fascinates me. So on the one hand side, driving digital transformation, but also our society in the sweet spot of technology, culture, and the understanding of the business purpose and the respective requirements.
Okay, cool. Some really cool cases. Let's talk a little bit about digital transformation. In your eyes, what must IT be able to offer?
Yeah, so I would say, so the question, the way you are asking is also showing the central challenge in understanding what IT does these days. So because when it comes to digital transformation, it's particularly important to understand that it does not come from the IT department. So even if it includes topics like methodological competence, tools, and services, so in my opinion, digital transformation must take place in the specialist departments, so in the line of business. So, and in the age of increasing cloudification and agile development, I mean, the role of IT departments has changed massively. So in my belief, today more than ever, IT is an enabler and a central component of corporate strategy. So must be a central component of the corporate strategy. So, and if you don't understand that, and if you don't understand the power of IT for competitive advantage and market differentiation, it is really tough to drive digital transformation in your companies. So I would also say, in other words, like IT should support the departments, the specialist departments in the transformation in cross-functional teams. And digital transformation must be driven by the line of business. It can't be imposed by the IT department. And so, to maybe in a nutshell, this is also, in my belief, the reason why many companies decided against a CDO, or why many initiatives from digital labs, innovation labs, etc., has failed recently. So it's not what IT needs to offer. It's more, how can IT enable line of businesses to drive digital transformation?
Do you have any tips on that along the way to implement and to execute your understanding about it?
Yeah, so when I talk with customers, I always talk about a plan A but also a plan B. So for digital transformation, my belief is that companies need to have a plan A, but also can stick back to a plan B. So plan A is very simple, means finding a project that you can be completed within a few months with the resources you have, and where it has a value for the company. So keeping it simple, starting small, and then this is the best way to start the digital transformation journey. But there's also a plan B. And this, on the other hand, means start big, but keep it simple. And that maybe sounds a bit strange, start big, but keep simple. So in my belief, not every organization can work in this way. However, sometimes there's a lack of courage and maybe ambition. because of culture, because of politics, and most organizations, and I truly know that, also require some level of upfront planning and commitment, for example, in allocating of resources. And they typically has a planning horizon of 1 to 3 years. And then, that milestones must be defined, risk must be cataloged, and so begins the waterfall model and the planning of digital transformation. But ultimately, there are many different established methods for large-scale program management. So, interestingly enough, none of them were developed or invented at Google. Also, we are maybe somehow good in setting goals and also keeping up key outcomes. But the way how organizations handle change is normally deeply woven into the organizational culture. And we suggest maybe that you ditch your tried and true ways of rethink digital transformation. So throw them overboard and do some totally new. And this is maybe the plan B. So try to really go on a total new plan or new path. And that could also be a new way of your plan B, how you really achieve some great milestones.
Okay, very, very interesting. Can you share with us some projects which you have planned for the future, even on business or as well with your speaking and with your dissertations and et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, so currently, so with my team, I'm working on a series of projects that also have a strong focus on insurance industry, and then also the health industry and the companies like banks, for example. So maybe 2 examples. So in the area of public health insurance companies, or even companies that would like to process highly sensitive data in the cloud. And so, there are a lot of regulations, especially in Germany with, so the German word is Sozialgesetzbuch, so the social code after Section 10. That means that high sensitive data like health data is somehow complicated to process in the cloud. And we are currently working on projects like a sovereignty cloud, which enables the storage and also the processing of highly sensitive data. And this is for us a huge project. And in addition to that, we are also opening another data center here in Germany, and just recently have announced that we will invest 1 billion euro in Germany. And so currently we are collecting a lot of requirements and expectations from our customers, and then bringing that together in the feedback loop, giving it back to senior management and product development, also already outlining new services that will be served directly out of Germany when it comes to highly sensitive data. This is always an important point. Not that we couldn't address it at the moment, but just to give more clarity and working with some strong partners on new offerings in the market.
Okay, so there's many in the pipeline, the big investments, big plans.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hearing more from that. If we look in the direction of the Richmond IT Forum and your upcoming keynote speech with us, can you give us a little insight, teaser on your topic, 10 times thinking, how Google is driving innovation at the forum?
Yeah, sure. So you already highlighted the title, so 10x Thinking, how Google is driving innovation. And the idea is, and this is also what I mentioned earlier, is sharing a bit of the experience of our culture of innovation. And so at Google, we firmly believe making information accessible and usable around the world. I mean, this is a common phrase every Googler knows. And so just like Apple, for example, the brand is good in making products simple. We at Google or Alphabet are good at making products smart. So it's our DNA and everything we do. So from our customer products like search, Gmail, ads, to our enterprise cloud business. And so our culture really supports or encouraged testing of new ideas, and some of them became real products. So for example, if you think back of Gmail, this was a 20% project of someone. And back then it was definitely not obvious that a search company should run a webmail. And Google's approach is really a fast iteration, and it can be broken down into two pillars. So it's our culture, and it's the use of radical new technologies. And we are not aiming for 10% improvement. We are aiming for a 10-fold improvement. And this could be only achieved with a robust culture on the one hand side, together with innovation and the radical new technologies. And in the presentation, I want to share a few of the insights, how we foster our innovation. For example, how we ensure psychological safety, but how we ensure also that projects are always committed on time and being successful. So what is the difference between a project manager and a product manager? So for example, we don't have any project manager within Google. But what is the difference? Why is this so important for being successful? And also, for example, that a failed project is never brought down or blaming to the project manager. And so there are a number of different insights I want to share with you, and maybe there's one or another asset you can also take with you and foster your own culture in your company.
Okay, so I think this was a really good teaser for the starting keynote at the Richmond IT Forum on the 6th of April. So we really look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks and to learning more from your deep knowledge. So Stefan, thank you very much for your time and for sharing some information with us about your background, about your expertise, and we look really forward to seeing you in 5 weeks.
Yeah, thank you for your time, and looking forward to see everyone then in person.